morning, good afternoon. How you doing? Today we're going to go a little newer movie to review. We're going to do Cowboys and Aliens, a science fiction western action film with a little romance going on in there, which turns out to be pretty good. So they come in starting with a cowboy laying in the middle of the desert with his clothes on and a metal wristband. They called him Jake Lauder. So he was captured by aliens. Well, you kind of assume that because it's Cowboys and Aliens of the movie. You know, we had Cowboys versus Indians, Cowboys versus just about everything, but they never did Cowboys versus Aliens. So this is another UFO story. So this is what they did. He wandered into town looking for, bad guys come and tried to roust him and take his possessions, and they wanted to arrest him because he's got a wanted app on him. Then what happened is they all got dead. He took their guns, clothes, whatever, horse, dog, and headed for the nearest town. He found a town. He broke into a medical office, I guess you call it. I keep looking over there at the city, but you know how it goes. He keeps he broke into the medical office trying to find a way to stitch up his wound, and gets caught by the preacher, which is also the town doctor for that little small town. So he gets to explaining himself that he don't remember anything, and he gets his wound stitched up. And I didn't win no jackpot, people. I'm a finalist, is what they're saying. Fake jackpots. I love them. Fun to play with, but not interested. Anyway, so he gets his wounds set up, and he goes out, and the cattleman's son, Percy, decides to shoot up the local bar just because you can. No consequences because daddy's rich and feeding the whole town. And he makes it evidently clear that daddy's the one that's going to keep him from going to jail. And Jake, he's standing over across the street on a porch with his armband on, and a girl cowboy shows up to look at Jake and wanting to talk to him, but he ends up getting into a scuffle with Percy because they thought he was bigger and badder than the big cowboy that's a criminal that was sitting there. He starts shooting at him. The Jake doesn't move and tells him that he's going to get himself in trouble if he points the gun. He needs to point the gun someplace else, or he's going to get himself in trouble. And he ends up trying to prove himself by shooting the gun off in a direction where he thinks there's nobody at, and he kills somebody with it. So the marshal arrests him and puts him in prison, and a couple hours later he realizes that the other guy that was there on the scene gets arrested, so he goes into the bar and gets him. So they're in a stagecoach headed out to the U.S. Marshals, and then this alien thing attacks the thing and takes people so they can figure out their weaknesses, and he ends up breaking out, and then the cowgirl talks to him, another alien from another planet, tells him what's going on, and he ends up using the weapon on his arm to take the creature's plane out, and one of the plane out. Percy gets taken right along with a bunch of other people in the thing, important people like wives and sons and daughters, and the Indians lose stuff. So they hike out, following the tracks of this creature because it's headed back to its ship. And then they get, I got to move down. I run to the bottom of the screen. Interesting. Then they get down to where the ship's buried in, and the lady cowboy is talking about where it came from, what they did, and telling you all about the backstory on the aliens that are stealing gold and trying to find a weakness in the ship. The one ship that's there, and the scout ship. as they called it. So they did that, and they explored the scout ship. Spent a lot of money on this. Anyway, I was just looking to see that. Anyway, so what they did is they blew up the hangar where the other ships come in and go, so they couldn't get out after they found it. And then the girl got taken during the battle in the town, and Jake realizes that he's got to go get her somewhere along the way, and so he blows up that ship, and they crash, and she gets injured, and after they visit the scout ship, and she gets injured. So he packs her across the river, finds the Indian tribe, and she officially dies. They throw her into a fire, and then everybody starts talking, and the big rancher's hand, which turned out to be been with him for a long time. And then they talk about knives with kids, and it turned out to be a pretty good movie. I kind of liked it, kind of really enjoyed it. And then the lady comes back from the fire. They go team up with the Indians and the gang, I guess you want to call it, and go fight the aliens, and it turns out to be a spectacular fight with the aliens, and they end up freeing people underneath the ship, at the bottom of the ship, and the end was spectacular, and it was real good. I suspect that you should go watch this thing and find out for yourself. But I liked it. I really did like it. Didn't do so well at the box office, though, so let's see. It was Universal Pictures. It came out in place. It came out July 23rd, 2011, San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know why they do that, but they did it. Then July 29th, 2011, it came out for the rest of the United States. It runs 118 minutes long. It's United States English. They spent $163 million making the thing, and at the box office they made $174.8 million. Not a big profit, but they did a pretty good job with the movie. I enjoyed it, but like I say, I like science fiction movies. So we'll talk to you later, and have a safe one. Be good, and we'll see you on the next round.